Shabbat Shalom, everybody. As we head into Shabbat, this week's Parsha is called Shelach, Shelach, and it's actually about the sending of the spies into the land of Israel. Been wandering as a people for 2 years and kind of stuck in and around Sinai, and now are finally on the move for the next, what would be 38 years. And this Parsha speaks to sending out scouts to look and see what's ahead, particularly for the Israelites and into the land of Canaan. And you might be familiar, there were a group of spies or scouts, depending on the political association with those words, who went out, and there were 2 scouts who came back with positive results. And only 2. It was Caleb and Joshua. And they said that the land is exceedingly good, that there is a land flowing with milk and honey, and that, all that God has promised would indeed come true. And the rest of the spies gave very negative reports. And I've been thinking, about this notion of perspective, and the kind of understanding in Jewish tradition of elu va'elu, which means this and that. And we can imagine that the scouts, regardless of who they were, probably had a mixture of experiences. And yet it was how the spies, Caleb and Joshua, actually presented their view to the Israelites that made the biggest impact. When the negative, spies or scouts presented, the people got very, very scared. And when the positive reports came, the people had a sense of hope and promise and potential. And there's a midrash that's always kind of in the back of my mind related to this notion of perspective. And it's when we came through the Red Sea, also another moment of inflection and opportunity to see what is versus what could be. And there were two folks amidst the, multitudes who came through the sea and were said to have just looked at their sandals, looked down and seen the mud on their sandals. And then there were those that looked up and around. And so too, it's like the scouts this Shabbat. And so I invite us, there's always elu va'elu, there's always this and that to see, and yet where we put the dagesh, where we put the emphasis, is really what matters, both to ourselves and the narratives that we tell ourselves, as well as to those who we are leading and working with and aiming to create community with. So here's to looking up and seeing what's possible and finding the milk and honey in what's to come. Shabbat Shalom.